Welcome back, preschool. Are you ready to talk about our letter of the day? Our M. M. And we've been talking about mice, or if there's just one, it was a mouse. We've talked about the moon and mountains and Monday and months. And I remember yesterday was motorcycles and mops and magnets and magnifying lenses and am I forgetting anything? Maybe my marbles? Ha! There's another M word for you. But we're going to go back to talking about some mice. One more story about some mice. Did you get that? Mice. And this story is called Two Tiny Mice. And right here, see that? Right there is the letter M. Mice. And it says Alan Baker. Who is Alan Baker? You're right, the author. Good job. And we know that author writes the story. Author writes the story. Author writes the story. That's why he came first. Now I'm going to open up this beautiful storybook. And I'm going to what is this special page called? The title page. Good job. For Two Tiny Mice. But here's Alan Baker. He's the author, but he's the only one on there. So that must mean he has two jobs. What is his second job? The illustrator. Great job. And we know that illustrators illustrate, illustrators illustrate, illustrators illustrate, which means he made the pictures for two tiny mice. Now, two tiny field mice look out into the world. Do you see them? There they are. One and two. There they are. They're on some, it almost looks like some wheat, doesn't it? Wow. I bet they're getting a snack. They see a soft, furry rabbit resting in the sun. Oh, look at that. Isn't that a pretty rabbit? So pretty. But where are mice? Do you see them? Do you see them? Do you see them? Do you see them? Do you see them now? One, two. There they are. And a big March hare and a shuffling, snuffling mole. So here is the hare. Whoops. There you go. Big, isn't he? And there's one mouse. And here's the other mouse. Two mice. And here is a mole. Wait a minute. Mole. A mole starts with the letter M. Good job finding things like that. Way to go. Oh, do you see what I saw? Maybe did you notice this right here? Did you notice that? It's not a butterfly. It is a moth and moth. Mole and moth and mouse all start with what letter? An M. Great job. Way to go. Now they see the shy little sparrow in its nest of twigs. Do you see the little sparrow? There he is. Pretty little sparrow. But where are mice? Where were they? See him now? One, two. There they are. Good counting. And a sly old fox far up the hill. See that sly old fox? And two tiny field mice look again and see. Now, I looked and I looked and I looked, but I can only find one mouse. There he is. And they look again to see what? I wonder what they're going to see. Ah, a croaking frog. Can you sound like a frog? Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Good job. Or a quacking duck. Can you quack like the duck? Quack, quack. Quack, 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 quack. And how many mice? Do you see them? There's 1 and 2. Right there. Good job. And a weasel at the river's edge. Now I see the weasel. Can you see the mice? Do you see them? 1, 2. Good eyes. Way to go. And a muddy brown otter swimming in the water. 2 tiny field mice look once more and see. Well, they saw the otter. Do you see the otter? But do you see the mice? Can you see them? I know it's really hard to see them, isn't it? They're all the way down here. 1, 2. But I wonder who else they're going to see. Oh, look! A bright-eyed gray squirrel nibbling on a nut. Look at the squirrel. And do you see the mice? Are they hiding? Are they hiding? Can you see them now? Oh, they're way up here. 1 and 2. There were our mice. And they see a spiky, spiny hedgehog rustling through the leaves. See the hedgehog? Oh, careful. Ow. Ooh, he's spiky. Watch out your fingers. And here, watch out, mice. Don't get too close. 1 and 2. You see, this one is like, don't get too close. He's very spiky. Ooh, I better turn this page. But do they see 2 badgers playing in the dark? There the badgers are. 1, 2. It's getting very dark, but do they see them playing in the dark? Do you see the mice anywhere in this picture? Look close. Do you see them? No, you don't see the mice in that picture. Do you know why? Because 2 tiny field mice are home, sound asleep in their nest. There they are. Of course, the badgers come out at night, so they are asleep where it's nice and safe, up to wake up in the morning and come back out into their forest. 1, 2, right there. Now, I want you to help me out here a little bit. I'm going to turn this around from this beautiful picture here, and I'm going to go on here. Do you see that? Now, here is the beginning. We had how many mice? 1, 2. And over here, how many mice are in the nest? 1, 2. But if we added them all together, we have 2 mice over here and 2 mice over here. How many mice do we have all together on these 2 pictures? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means if I had 2 mice here, 1, 2, 2 tiny mice, and I had 2 more tiny mice, 1, 2. How many tiny mice do I have all together? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tiny mice. So guess what? I think would be a great day to study what number? You want to take a guess? We've already talked about 2, and we learned that 2 and adding 2 more made 4. There it is right there, the number 4. And not only do we have 4 animals, let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 animals. We also notice they need how many legs? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the shapes that you're going to need to make the number 4 are very, very familiar to you. But I also want to remind you, where do we start our numbers from? You're right. From the top, from the top, from the top, top, from the top, from the top, from the top, top, from the top, from the top, from the top, top. We start our numbers from the top. That's right. Good job. So we have one little piece, one little line, and then over and one more down. So you're going to start here where Smiley is and just go blink, stop, over, blink, stop. And then to make the stand that he's standing on, you need one line all the way down. So take your time, practice making the 4s up here. And then to get used to making your short lines, your small lines, and your long lines, trace the legs of the animals, because these two are definitely going to be longer lines than these guys, and these are going to be the shorter lines. And then put them all together and trace the number 4s down here at the bottom. And of course, you're going to have a back of the page for your name. And if you want to practice drawing or writing, I should say, sorry, your very own number 4s. Now, to go along with number 4, I found an old friend of ours. It's the bear! Woohoo! He's come to visit! Hello, Mr. Bear! And we know the bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain to see what he could see, to see what he could see, to see what he could see. The bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain, the bear went over the mountain to see what he could see. And when he got there, do you know what he saw? He saw something that has, guess what? 4, because it's our number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 sides. 4 sides that were all the same size. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember how we talked about when lines meet up, they make a point, which means this guy here has 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this shape is a square. Good job. Excellent job. This is a square. And so our bear went over the square. The bear went over the square. The bear went over the square to see what he could see. And when he got there, he knew that square was not the only one to have 4 sides and 4 points. So guess what he saw? Who's this? Rectangle. You're right. Rectangle has how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides. So how many points? 1, 2, 3, 4. So he saw a rectangle. Now, rectangle is a little different than square because square has all 4 sides that are the same. Square has all the same size, but rectangle, he couldn't decide. Do I want long lines or short lines? He's kind of like the number 4. The 4 uses a combination of short lines and long lines. So does rectangle. He went long, short, but he still has how many sides? 4 sides. So here goes our bear. The bear went over the rectangle. The bear went over the rectangle. The bear went over the rectangle to see what he could see. And when he got there, do you know what he saw? something else that had 4 sides and 4 points. Are you ready? He saw a rhombus. That's right. He saw a rhombus. And he has how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means he also has how many points? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. The rhombus. Good job. Now, rhombus has 4 points and 4 sides, but do you think the bear stopped there? He did not. He kept going. So, the bear went over the rhombus, the bear went over the rhombus, the bear went over the rhombus to see what he could see. And when he got there, he found someone else that had 4 sides. Would you like to take a guess at who else has 4 sides? That's right! A trapezoid. Trapezoid has 4 sides. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which also means that trapezoid has how many points? 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So the bear saw the trapezoid. But when he got to the trapezoid, instead of going over the trapezoid, he said, my, trapezoid, you certainly look like a very comfortable bed. So Bear lay down on the trapezoid and took a little rest. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little story with our shapes that had how many sides and points? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're needing to get ready, get those fingers ready to go work on making the number 4. So are you ready? Let's go. Wiggle those fingers. And 1 little, 2 little, 3 little bubbles. 4 little, 5 little, 6 little bubbles. 7 little, 8 little, 9 little bubbles. 10 little bubbles go pop, pop, pop. Pop them at me. Pop, pop, pop. Pop them at yourself. Pop, pop, pop. Pop them back and forth. Pop, 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 pop. Pop them to the ceiling. Pop, pop, pop. Pop them to the floor. Pop, pop, pop. Pop them back and forth again. Pop, 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 pop. And play a little air piano. And play it on your head. Play it on your shoulders. Play it upside down. Okay, how about some bubbles? Here we go. All right. Awesome. Oh, I love bubbles. Bubbles just make me so happy. I hope they make you happy too. All right, preschool. When we come back, we'll have another story and a little bit of an experiment for you to do. Are you ready? Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Bye.